Some people are very busy. Some people misunderstand between mindset and growth. You may come across such people in real life. I know that everybody has got a responsibility. Nobody is sitting idle. Until and unless you realize the importance and meaning of life, you will definitely have several responsibilities. But what is real mindset? And people definitely get misinformed. What is the meaning of mindset? Many people get confused between mindset, flexibility, openness. These are different words. We're not going to look at the meanings of the words, but I'm just going to give you the pointers. And I'll tell you from where I got these pointers. If you're interested, you can go through that. But before defining what it is all about, welcome to another video on my channel. My name is Renee Rose Matthew. I'm a CELTA certified tutor, and whatever points I share here are connected to the training sessions and personal experience with people. You think only uneducated people make mistakes and errors when it comes to mindset, growth and all that? No. I have some people who just find excuses when it comes to even doing a task. So let's take children, let's take adults also. Many people think that flexibility and open-mindedness, these two are same as mindset. No. Being flexible, being open-minded are two different things, and you cannot compare that to mindset. Mindset is the kind of system, the status, and the kind of development, progress, everything that you give access to, and there is a definition on the screen as well. Mindset is how you set up your mind. It's very simple, but there is another definition to mindset, and I'm going to give you these pointers so that you know what exactly is growth mindset. Flexibility is not mindset. Open-mindedness is not mindset. Okay, don't get confused. And some people say, I'm flexible, I'm not rigid. Being flexible, being attuned to different opinions and perspectives need not be a good sign of having a growth mindset. There are people who are flexible, there are people who are open-minded, but still they may not have the growth mindset. What happens is they may not actually put in effort cultivating their own skills or even cultivating the skills of their children. They may say, I'm flexible, I'm open-minded, but they may not give the result, but they may not give the desired output. That is the growth mindset. Growth mindset is not about success all the time. And what happens, this gets masked. The ability to cultivate the skills and the ability to track the progress gets enshrouded within what? It gets enshrouded in just open-mindedness, which can be temporary also. The second point. So whenever children put in effort, we praise them. And when they get good results, we praise them. When adults show some progress and they're learning also as a trainer, I praise them during the sessions. But it's not just about praising the effort. Appreciation comes when somebody puts in the effort, and it's always great to praise the effort and not the intelligence. We all know that everybody is intelligent. The only thing is we have to train our brain to use it. Some people say you can learn English because of that ability. No, that's not the thing. It's more about how you train, how you stretch your mind and how you prepare your mindset. Many people, 70% of the learners have to prepare their mind to receive that language, to receive the language skills. It's not that they don't have the information. In today's world, we all have information. But mindset is something that we prepare through the language therapy sessions. So let's come to this point. When you praise somebody for the effort, remember that it's not just the effort. What if they put the same effort every time and they don't get the desired result? It's more about praising the strategies, praising whatever they do, the key points, and the way they tune themselves to get that outcome, the way they tune themselves to get that result. It's not just the effort. So when you try working on a person, when you try helping a person also, if the effort is not working, try to change the strategies. For example, when it comes to language learning, reading, listening, speaking, and writing. We have these skills where we have to show our progress. But you should see how things are done, the methods of learning, the methods of practicing, active learning methods, all these things. You know that many people say, I've been learning English for almost 10 years, but still I'm unable to track the progress. I'm unable to experience the progress. Now that is questionable. Okay? The third point. So I'm just giving you the pointer so that you know where to appreciate and how to help a person. We can see parents who just appreciate the efforts. I have seen school leaders who just appreciate the effort when there is no effort at all. You can see this in your workplace also, where there is no effort, but they simply keep praising. And if you ask them why it is done, they would say, it's good to appreciate, it's good to encourage. Yes, it's good to encourage. But remember, if there is zero effort, you are actually misleading the person. You have to talk to them, you have to tell them you're capable of so many things. If you can do this in this way, you may become successful in the project. I'm just giving an example. So when it comes to learning English also, if a person is not showing any progress, don't simply praise. As adults, as children, everybody has got the intelligence, the reasoning skills to understand that the praise or the gems that you give are not sufficient or it's not genuine. And when they lose trust in the process as well. Okay? So praising is definitely valuable. Praising should become valid through your words and the way you do it. The next point is, generally we say you have to praise the effort, not the intelligence. So some parents and some adults, even some trainers ask me, ma'am, is it not fine to praise the person's effort? What if you get the outcome? Yes, you have to praise. Suppose a person really shows progress, you have to praise the effort. You shouldn't shrink away from it, or you shouldn't suppress the praise that you have to give on the spot. Just imagine a person speaking English after some time. So I had a learner who could speak only in Hindi in the initial stages. So after 1 month, he began showing progress. He gathered the confidence to speak few lines on any topic. So when I say any topic, it's a general topic. Initially, he could only speak in Hindi, but now he is able to make different sentences, and that's not because of my effort alone. It's because of his work, the way he guided himself, using the pointers and the activities given during the session. So here, when it comes to this point, you have to praise when the effort is there. Even before reaching the outcome, even if there is no outcome, you have to praise the effort. Let's take an institution or a school. There are people who just praise the end result. Okay, there was a school I know of where the leaders only praised the end result, only if the desired output was there. What about the teachers who put in the effort? What about the children who put in the effort? Maybe the outcome was not there. Maybe they didn't get the desired output or the result. But it's always good to praise the effort if they have used different strategies, if they have done something different this time compared to the previous effort. So that's the second point I mentioned. Like, the effort is important. You have to look at how they do it, the strategies. But you shouldn't shrink away or confine and again restrict the praise you give for the effort. Even if the result is not there, you can see, you can just mark the path, the direction, the trajectory of the effort put in, which is very important. And whatever I'm going to say, there was a mother who said, I just wanted to praise my daughter for all the effort. The output was not there, but she tried different ways of doing it. So is it okay to just praise the effort that's put in a different way? Definitely, you can do that, and you should be doing it. See, in today's world, the problem is not with the information or the kind of knowledge you give. Everybody has got knowledge. You open the internet, you have access to information, knowledge. You can train yourself in different skills, painting or dancing or whatever it is. Everything happens, and you can't say that only offline sessions are workable or they are authentic. I've already done another video on this. It's more about courtesy, the way you speak to people, the way you respond to an email, the way you find time for something that's really important. I am busy has become a cliched statement. It's actually not a good way of always escaping from your responsibilities by saying that I am busy. Okay, when you're genuinely not. The last point. This point is very important. That is the last point. Generally, people praise each other when there is no effort. Okay, that was another point before this. The misunderstanding is you have to always praise and say you can do anything. I've heard people who just say that you can do anything, even to children and to adults. You can just do anything. You are capable of doing it. Yes, you can encourage. These are statements and affirmations and positive vibes that you give to a person when there is no confidence. Okay? But it should be sincere. You should never say you can do anything, anything is possible. You show the direction, you show the trajectory. It's not about giving the proof, it's about giving the confidence through action. So simply by saying you can do anything, you can do anything, you can host a drama. So I had a school leader who always used to say that you can just host a drama, but what about the time for practice? What about the time that we take to prepare the background, the backdrop, the costume and everything? When you host a drama, there will be people from the other institutions coming and participating in it. So we have to give our best. So when you don't have time, when you just have 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or when children are not prepared for acting on the stage, we have to teach them. We have to teach them something, and the remaining they will learn from experience. But what if you give them nothing and you just say anything is possible? Of course, certain things are possible on the planet, but don't give false hopes. It's just like when you ask your employers for the salary, for the appraisal or anything. You also have a trust in the company. You have a trust in a relationship. You have a trust when you take sessions. Okay? Do not extinguish that. Trust, faith, hope, everything gets extinguished when there is a misunderstanding. And sometimes people will not be able to distinguish between the wrong information, the misleading information that people give reference. Sometimes people are unable to distinguish between the growth mindset and flexibility and open-mindedness, or just listening to everything and accepting everything. See, in today's world, it's more about reasoning out, understanding why something is done in a different way. And we are living in an era of digital learning, which is actually working good. It is helping many people. Okay, in my case, I was not able to go for real painting classes when I was a kid. Not because I didn't have the provision for that. I had options, but I was not encouraged to do that, to be very frank. I can tell it out on YouTube to you. But today, I think I've got the opportunity to enroll in such sessions. I have good tutors guiding me. So I have to invest the time for that. Okay. Similarly, when you want to do something in life, it is important to pay attention to such pointers. And the problem is many parents, teachers, and even some of the learners, adult learners, are not able to distinguish between accepting everything, inability to voice the opinion, and the ability to voice your opinion, to ask questions, to be confident even while saying that you don't know something. That is the main problem. Okay? People just confuse between overconfidence and assertiveness, right? So I have already spoken about educated rudeness, but this is a different layer to that. Never get misled. Happy learning.